He died owing more than $200,000, a staggering sum for the 19th century. He left this world exhausted, nearly broken, and convinced he had failed the very people he loved. 38 years later, one of the largest industrial corporations on Earth would carry his name. If you enjoy stories where failure hides world-changing legacies, subscribe now, because this is not a success story you'll hear in business textbooks. In 1830, Charles Goodyear sat behind iron bars in a Philadelphia debtor's prison. He had not stolen, assaulted, or defrauded anyone. His crime was insolvency. A failed hardware business had left him unable to repay his creditors, and in an era before bankruptcy protections, poverty itself was punishable. It would not be the last time. Over the next decade, Goodyear returned to debtor's prison so often that he bitterly joked it had become his hotel. Each stay stripped him further of dignity, time, and health. Yet it was during those years, while the world considered him a failure, that he stumbled upon the obsession that would quietly reshape modern civilization. In 1834, Goodyear wandered into a rubber goods store in New York City. Rubber was a promising novelty, imported from South America and hailed as a miracle material. But the miracle was unraveling. Rubber melted into foul-smelling goo in summer heat. It hardened and cracked in winter cold. It clung to everything it touched. Across New England, rubber companies were collapsing as quickly as they had risen. Where others saw a dead end, Goodyear saw a challenge. He had no formal education in chemistry. He had no laboratory. He had no capital. What he did have was relentless curiosity and a refusal to quit that bordered on self-destruction. He believed rubber could be saved if only someone could make it stable. So he began experimenting wherever he could. In his kitchen, in rented rooms, in jail cells. He mixed rubber with witch hazel, nitric acid, castor oil, magnesium, lime, even cream cheese. Most experiments failed spectacularly. Some exploded, others nearly suffocated him. Meanwhile, his family paid the price. Neighbors fed his children. His wife Clarissa begged shopkeepers for credit. At times, the children dug half-grown potatoes from fields because hunger left them no dignity to lose. When one of Goodyear's infant sons died, he could not afford a proper burial. Still, he continued, in 1839, after 5 years of obsession and ruin, chance intervened. Goodyear accidentally dropped a mixture of rubber and sulfur onto a hot stove. Instead of melting, the material charred slightly and transformed. It became elastic, yet firm, flexible, yet durable, stable in both heat and cold. Goodyear had done what entire industries had failed to accomplish. He named the process vulcanization, after Vulcan, the Roman god of fire. But discovery is not the same as reward. It took him 5 more years to refine the formula and secure a patent, which he finally received in 1844. He believed fortune would follow. Instead, exploitation arrived first. Competitors stole his process outright. Others exploited loopholes. Goodyear spent years in courtrooms instead of laboratories, prosecuting 32 infringement cases. He even hired Daniel Webster, paying an astonishing $15,000 for just 2 days of legal work money he could scarcely afford. European patents slipped through his fingers on technicalities. While manufacturers grew wealthy using his invention, Goodyear grew poorer defending it. At home, tragedy compounded failure. Clarissa developed tuberculosis after decades of enduring poverty beside him. Most of what little money remained went toward her care. She died in 1853 after nearly 30 years of loyalty to a man whose dreams never fed their household. In 1855, while attending the Exposition Universelle in Paris to showcase vulcanized rubber, Goodyear was arrested again for unpaid debts and thrown into a French debtor's prison. While he sat behind bars, an astonishing thing happened. Napoleon III awarded him the Cross of the Legion of Honor for his contributions to industry. Goodyear's son brought the medal to the prison cell where his father sat in disgrace. By 1860, the rubber industry built on Goodyear's patents employed over 60,000 people and generated more than $8 million annually. That same year, Charles Goodyear died at 59 years old, still $200,000 in debt. He never became wealthy. He never lived to see his name celebrated. He wrote once that he did not wish to complain about sowing seeds others would reap. In 1898, 38 years after his death, a businessman named Frank Sibberling founded a tire company in Akron, Ohio. He named it Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company, not for profit, but for acknowledgement. Today, every tire on every road, every gasket, seal, hose, and waterproof coating carries the invisible fingerprint of a man who spent more time imprisoned than prosperous. Sometimes greatness is not rewarded within a lifetime. Sometimes the legacy outlives the suffering, and sometimes the world runs on the work of people who never got to enjoy the road they built. If stories like this change the way you see success, leave a like, share this with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more forgotten histories that shaped our world.